Hi, I'm Olivia from New York. Please like and subscribe because My Story Animated will give $1,000 to one lucky person in the coming 7 days. My supermodel mom and lawyer dad lived in a beautiful mansion with my sister Sophie when I came along. The minute mom laid her eyes on me, she was obsessed. Oh my God, have you ever seen a baby this perfect? People did have some strange reactions when they saw me. Once, a friend of mom's was visiting us, and she just wouldn't put me down. Oh, that dark hair and those green eyes, and that beautiful olive skin. Just let me have her. You can keep my daughter. Just then, her demon daughter came running straight at me to attack. But before she even got close, Sophie pounced on her. Then she kicked mom's friend really hard, picked me up, and dashed out of the room. Sophie was the most amazing older sister and always had my back, even against our mom. See, mom had retired, and she was just around me all the time, doing crazy things. When I was only 4, she had 10 women applying products to my hair and skin every day for hours. I'd sing non-stop to annoy them. Let me go, let me go. I'm one with the wind and sky. Just let her be, Mom. Why does she even need all this stuff? Oh, you wouldn't understand. You're quite plain and not pretty at all. But your sister's beauty is extraordinary. It must be taken care of. Her words seemed to make Sophie really sad, so I spat at her and slapped her hand away. Touch me again and I will end you. I threw such a big tantrum, Mom had to fire her. On my 5th birthday, my parents threw a huge party and got me a gorgeous cake. But as soon as I started eating some, Mom pulled the plate away. Sugar isn't good for your skin, sweetie. Here, eat a carrot. No, I want cake! Mom managed to snatch the plate away, but then I jumped onto the table and started stuffing chunks of cake in my mouth. Everyone was laughing as Mom came running and carried me off. Just then, a friend of hers approached us. He was a movie director, and he begged Mom to let him cast me in his next movie. My parents were only too happy to say yes, and the very next day we were packing up for a movie shoot in LA. But Mom, Olivia is starting school next week. Oh, school schmool. She can always join it when she's back. This is a chance we can't miss. Sophie was left behind with the nanny, and I was so excited to see her after 2 months. But next thing I knew, I was being whisked off to another project, and then another, and another. I never joined school, and my parents hired a tutor who traveled with us. I lived in this world of makeup, cameras, and strangers, and it was lonely. I just wanted a normal life. When I was 12, we were in Canada for a movie when I spotted some kids skating on a frozen lake from my hotel window. I ran off to join them, and seconds later, I heard a loud scream. I saw that a girl had fallen through a soft patch of ice, and she was drowning. I raced to her and jumped into the water. As I pulled her out, some people gathered around and rushed us inside the hotel lobby, and they were calling me a hero. I took off my wet coat and bent next to the girl, asking her if she was okay. She suddenly looked up at me with a disgusted face. Ew! Get away from me! What's wrong with your skin, you alien? Wow, was that her thank you? But then I looked down at my arms and I had purple scaly patches all over. What was happening? Suddenly, Mom came running in and dragged me away. And next thing I knew, we were flying back home to see the best skin doctor. He told us that I had a condition called psoriasis. It's a skin disease that happens because… Oh, shut up! Don't explain it to me, just fix it! But no matter how many doctors we went to or what we tried, nothing seemed to work. Mom, I can't do it anymore. Can we please stop these treatments? They just make things worse. So this is how you want to be, huh? Fine, I give up. You're not the same girl I had. You're ugly to me now. Mom, are you crazy? Her condition isn't her fault, and she's still the same person. But from that day on, Mom started ignoring me completely and canceled all my movie deals. Well, I wasn't upset about that. I could be with Sophie now and even go to school. I didn't want anyone to find out about my condition, so I made sure to wear jeans and a full-sleeve t-shirt on the first day of 8th grade. But the welcome I got was something I wasn't expecting at all. Oh my God! You're Olivia, right? The movie star? Oh, you're even prettier in real life. OMG, I love you! I'd do anything to have your beautiful skin. If only they knew. But for now, my secret was safe, and I was surrounded by all these boys and girls wanting to be my friends. As they led me to the classroom, I suddenly heard a voice that sounded rather familiar. Well, well, look who's here. It's the Little Mermaid herself. Have you shown everyone your fish scales yet? It was that girl from the frozen lake. What are you talking about, Donna? I rushed to her and pulled her out of the classroom. Listen, can you please keep my condition to yourself? Why? Why should I do that for you? Because I'm asking you to. Why are you being this way after I helped you? Oh, so what? I'm supposed to be grateful? Somebody else would have helped me if you weren't around. And sure, I'll keep your little secret, as long as you do what I say. With that, she winked at me and walked back into the classroom. Why did this Donna have to be at my school, in my class? I knew she was just gonna make me miserable, and that she did. She was making me carry her stuff, dumping all of her homework on me, making me bring food for her at lunch. I always made sure to spit on it first, but I was getting really annoyed. Oh, thank you, Olivia. You're such a good friend, and so humble for a movie star. But then she went really overboard. One day in math class, the teacher announced a mental math quiz, and Donna instantly passed a note to me. Answer every question by saying, "I'm a moron and I don't know anything." What? I'm not going to do this. She just shrugged and gave me an evil grin, and I knew my secret would be out as soon as class ended. The teacher started asking questions, and I was dreading my turn. Olivia, how many minutes are there in a month? I'm a moron and I don't know anything. What nonsense! Come on now, take a few seconds and tell me the answer. I'm a moron and I don't know anything. It's basic multiplication. You don't know how to multiply? I'm a moron and oh my God. You're just being cheeky with me, aren't you? Tell me, what is 2 times 2? I'm a moron and I don't know anything. The teacher immediately sent me to the principal and Sophie was called in. I was given 2 weeks of detention and Sophie was surprised at my behavior. As we walked out of the office, she asked, "What's going on, Olivia? That's really not like you." I told her everything about Donna and she was so mad. What a little jerk. Olivia, you can't keep doing everything she says. These other kids like you and they're your friends. So what if they find out about your condition? Sophie, you won't understand, okay? I don't want anyone to know. The way Donna reacted when she saw me, and have you forgotten Mom? She can't even look at me anymore. You don't know what it's like being told you're ugly. I don't know what it's like? Olivia, that's all I ever heard growing up. I was the ugly sister and you were the beautiful one. Everyone made me feel it. And it did hurt, a lot. But I realized that I'm so much more than my skin and what I look like. And so are you. Anyone who tells you otherwise isn't worth being friends with. Wow, Sophie was so amazing and strong. And she was right. I couldn't let Donna hold this over me forever. So the next day, when she told me to get her lunch, I walked over with a plate of spaghetti and smashed it straight in her face. What do you think you're doing, witch? What? I just brought you lunch. Didn't anyone ever teach you to say thank you? She flew out of her chair and leapt at me. As I tried to push her off, suddenly a bunch of boys from class lifted her away. Donna, are you crazy? Don't you dare hurt Olivia. You could have scratched her perfect face. Perfect? Oh, this girl is far from perfect, and you'll soon find out. As she stormed off, I was left to wonder what she'd do next. And I didn't have to wait for too long. A few days later, this cute boy Colin from my class invited me to a party, and I happily accepted. We were having a really good time, and as he led me to the dance floor, suddenly Donna came flying out of nowhere, and she shoved him away. Colin, get away from her! She'll give you her disease. And with that, she suddenly pulled hard on my sleeve and ripped it right off. The people standing around us gasped. Just look at her arm. She's probably got fish scales all over. I just saved you from a freak. You're welcome. Colin stared at her in shock and then looked furious. Donna, you're a psycho. I already know about her condition and so do the rest of her friends. She told us. This doesn't change anything for me. She's still amazing and 10 times prettier than you. As everyone stared at Donna in disgust, she started screaming, and Colin had her thrown out of his party. Well, Donna was an outcast now. No one in class wanted to talk to her, and I was trying to be more comfortable with myself and started wearing different clothes too. But one day I was out with Sophie when I had a really bad flare-up, and my skin started itching worse than ever. She took me to my skin doctor, and he gave me some cream to relieve it. Like I was telling your mother the other day, The best way to keep it under control is to get plenty of sunlight. And wait, my mother was here the other day? Why, yes, of course. I mean, she has the same condition. Wait, what? When I went home with Sophie, I burst into the living room where Mom and Dad were sitting. Mom, you're such a liar. You made me feel so ashamed of my skin condition when you suffer from it yourself? What? How did you find out? I don't even want to look at you, Mom. Dad, I want to talk to you. I want to talk to the lawyer in you. I want a divorce from Mom. I don't want to be her daughter anymore. Olivia, please don't say that. I'm not ashamed of you. I hate myself for passing this on to you. You got it from me. I gave up modeling when I got psoriasis, but that was nothing compared to how bad I felt giving my condition to you. I just don't know how to deal with my guilt, but I should never have made you feel bad. Please, please forgive me. If only you'd shared it with me, Mom. I wouldn't have felt so alone and unloved. Baby, I love you more than I can say, but I was foolish and wrong. And I'm really, really sorry. It took me a while, but I eventually forgave Mom. I understood she'd treated me this way because of her own insecurities. But my true rock is Sophie, who always loved me unconditionally and made me realize my own worth.